Thank you for joining Home Field Trivia for our Lions lore quiz. Like, subscribe, and comment for more content. This will be 30 fact or fiction questions for the Detroit Lions. Question 1. The Detroit Lions have won multiple Super Bowls. True or false? The correct answer is false. The Lions were the first NFL team to host a Thanksgiving Day game. And that is true. The Detroit Lions drafted Barry Sanders as the first overall pick in the 1989 NFL Draft. And that is false. Barry Sanders retired after 10 seasons in the NFL. And that is true. The Lions have never played in a Super Bowl. True or false? The correct answer is true. The Lions once went 11-5 and missed the playoffs. That is true. The Detroit Lions won their last NFL championship in 1957. That is true. The Lions' home stadium is Ford Field. The correct answer is true. The Lions have had the same team name since their inception. And that is false. Detroit Lions legend Bobby Lane is the only quarterback in NFL history to throw 100 touchdowns in a season. And that is false. The Detroit Lions have the most NFL MVP winners in history. And that is false. Former Lions quarterback Matthew Stafford won a Super Bowl with the Los Angeles Rams. The correct answer is true. The Lions were originally based in Portsmouth, Ohio, before moving to Detroit. That is true. The Lions' first-round draft picks have always been successful players. That is false. The Detroit Lions were one of the founding teams of the NFL in 1920. That is false. Chris Spielman was a linebacker for the Lions and was known for his leadership on defense. That is true. Herman Moore is the Lions' all-time leader in receiving yards. That is true. The Lions' 2008 season was the only 0-16 season in NFL history. That is false. The Detroit Lions have had more first overall draft picks than any other team in the NFL. The correct answer is false. The Lions played their home games at Tiger Stadium before moving to Ford Field. That is true. The Lions have won more division titles than the Green Bay Packers. True or false? That is false. The Lions' colors are green and white. False. Barry Sanders' final rushing yard total is over 16,000 yards. And that is false. The Lions drafted quarterback Matthew Stafford first overall in 2009. That is true. The Detroit Lions have the most Hall of Famers from a single draft class. That is false. The Detroit Lions have never won the NFC Championship. True or false? That is true. The Detroit Lions have produced more 1,000-yard rushers than any other NFL team. That is false. Calvin Johnson, also known as Megatron, set a record for receiving yards in a single season in 2012. That is true. Former Lions wide receiver Roy Williams was drafted by the team in the first round in 2004. That is true. Chuck Hughes is the only NFL player to die on the field during an official game. That is true. Thank you for joining us for the Lions Lore Quiz. Like and subscribe for more content. Leave a comment with how you did below.